Picture this. December 1969, the North Sea, a place known for its harsh and unforgiving conditions. Not exactly a holiday destination, unless you have a peculiar fondness for freezing winds and monstrous waves that could swallow ships whole. For years, determined engineers drilled relentlessly into the seabed, chasing what many skeptics dismissed as a mere fantasy: oil. All they found was disappointment, until the Sequest rig struck a massive reservoir of high-quality crude. Headlines screamed, "Britain strikes oil!" It was a moment that changed everything. Black gold in the North Sea, a discovery that promised to alter the course of history. Overnight, the UK transformed from a struggling post-empire nation to a potential energy superpower with newfound hope and ambition. The scale was staggering. Billions promised for the treasury, a chance to rebuild and secure prosperity for generations to come. Pubs buzzed with excitement. Politicians promised a golden age, a new era of wealth and opportunity. No more economic crises. No more begging international lenders for aid. The future seemed bright. This was Britain's lottery win, a get-out-of-jail-free card from Mother Nature, a chance to rewrite its destiny. The Forties field was one of the world's largest oil finds at the time. The possibilities seemed endless, the potential limitless. But this is a story about winning the lottery and ending up poorer than before, a cautionary tale of missed opportunities. The oil discovery was a game changer, a golden ticket that promised so much. Yet what followed was one of the most spectacular, least discussed national faceplants in modern history, a lesson in hubris. The UK had a chance to invest in its future, to transform its destiny, to build a legacy. Instead, the choices made would haunt the nation for decades, casting a long shadow over its future. The oil was a one-time gift, a fleeting opportunity. What Britain did with it would define generations, shaping the lives of millions. This is the story of how a nation struck it rich and lost it all. A tale of dreams, unfulfilled. The moment Britain was handed a golden ticket, a chance to change its fate, and how it slipped right through its fingers, a poignant reminder of what could have been. The UK wasn't alone in this oil rush. Across the border, Norway struck oil too. Ekofisk Field, a shared moment of triumph. Both nations faced tough times and saw oil as a lifeline. But here's where their stories split. Britain grabbed the money and spent it fast, like throwing a party with newfound riches. Norway picked carefully, investing for the future. Two countries, same opportunity, but two philosophies: spend now or save for tomorrow. The choices they made would shape their destinies for generations. This is where the fable of two friends and two futures begins. So, what did they do? Faced with a sudden windfall from North Sea oil, the UK government had a choice to make: how to use this unexpected fortune. The UK saw oil as a quick fix for economic woes: strikes, unemployment, collapsing industries. The country was struggling, and oil seemed like a lifeline. The money flowed straight into the general budget, spent on tax cuts and benefits. It was used to ease immediate pressures, to keep the economy afloat and the public content. No special plan, no long-term vision. Just a temporary bonus to patch up problems. The focus was on short-term relief, not on building something lasting. Thatcher's government used oil to cushion the pain of deindustrialization, not to build a future. The oil money softened the blow but didn't create new opportunities. It was a short-term fix for long-term issues. When the oil money faded, the problems remained. Norway took a different path. They saw oil not just as a resource, but as a responsibility. They declared, "This oil belongs to everyone, including future generations." The wealth from the North Sea was to be shared, not squandered. Instead of spending, they saved. Every krone was carefully accounted for with an eye on the future. In 1990, they created the Government Pension Fund Global, the world's biggest sovereign wealth fund. This fund would safeguard the nation's prosperity. Oil revenue went into the fund, only investment returns could be spent. The principal was protected, ensuring the fund would grow over time. The principal was preserved, turning oil into a permanent source of income. This was a disciplined, forward-thinking approach. Norway's approach was a promise to future generations. The fund would benefit not just those alive today, but Norwegians for centuries to come. Oil was a one-time gift, but the fund would last forever. It transformed fleeting wealth into lasting security. This was the most important economic decision in Norway's history. It set the country on a path of stability and shared prosperity. They turned a finite resource into a perpetual money machine. The fund became a symbol of national unity and prudence. The UK spent its windfall. Norway invested in its future. One nation chose instant gratification. The other chose patience and planning. Two nations, two choices, one lasting legacy. The contrast is a lesson in how to handle fortune. The difference couldn't be clearer. Norway's careful stewardship stands as a model for the world, while the UK's missed opportunity is a cautionary tale. In the UK, the oil money, worth £1 trillion today, vanished into government spending. It was like pouring fine wine into a river, gone forever. The money paid for tax cuts and unemployment, but wasn't invested in new industries or infrastructure. It masked economic pain without curing it. When oil revenue peaked in the 1980s, it made up a huge chunk of government income. But there's no legacy, just day-to-day expenses. Politically, spending now was easier than saving for the future. When the oil dried up, the problems remained. Industries gone, unemployment high, and no safety net. The party ended, and the bill arrived. The UK was left with the same old problems. Only now, the magic money was gone. The £1 trillion windfall was spent, not invested. The hangover would last for generations. Meanwhile, Norway's piggy bank kept growing. Their sovereign wealth fund is now worth over $1.6 trillion, more than $300,000 for every Norwegian. It's the largest fund on the planet. The secret? Discipline. Politicians can only spend the fund's annual returns, never the core capital. The fund owns a slice of nearly every major company worldwide. Norway turned oil into a permanent stake in global capitalism. This insulated them from oil price swings. Public services are funded by stable investment returns. The fund is managed ethically. No tobacco, no arms, no high-carbon companies. It's not just about wealth, but responsibility. Norway's approach is patient, smart, and future-focused. The fund supports public services and long-term planning. It's a model of stability and foresight. Wealth serves the people and the future. Norway's oil legacy is a triumph of vision and discipline. What does this mean for real people? For millions of ordinary families, the impact is felt every single day, in ways both big and small. In the UK, decades of austerity and underfunded public services followed, leaving communities without the resources they once relied on. The NHS is in crisis. Schools are struggling to provide basic education, and local councils are declaring bankruptcy at alarming rates. Wages have stagnated, inequality has soared, and the cost of living crisis bites hard, forcing more families to turn to food banks and charity. The oil windfall was spent quickly, but the problems remain, unresolved and growing with each passing year. In Norway, public services are world-class. Healthcare is robust, education is free, and infrastructure is modern and well-maintained. Wages are high, inequality is low, and the standard of living is exceptional, with most citizens enjoying real financial security. Norway's oil wealth made its people rich in reality, not just on paper, creating opportunities for generations. Britain's short-sightedness left a legacy of crumbling schools, overstretched hospitals, and neglected infrastructure. The lost trillion haunts every aspect of UK life, from shuttered shops to struggling neighborhoods. Every family struggling to pay bills, every pensioner counting coins, is living with the consequences of decisions made decades ago. Norway invested in its people and future. Britain managed decline, missing a once-in-a-generation chance. The difference is stark and deeply human, visible in every life touched by these choices. This is the true cost of Britain's trillion-dollar mistake, a cost measured not just in money, but in hopes, futures, and lives. Who owned the oil? In Norway, the state did. Profits flowed back to the people. The government created Statoil, kept control, and managed the resource for the public good. In the UK, initial state involvement was quickly privatized. Thatcher's government sold off stakes, opening the North Sea to private and foreign companies. Profits flowed to shareholders, not the public. The UK acted more like a landlord collecting rent than an owner. Norway's model prioritized national benefit. The UK prioritized private profit. The result? Norwegians got the wealth, Britons got the leftovers. Ownership philosophy made all the difference. Imagine if the UK had created its own sovereign wealth fund. That £1 trillion could have become £2 trillion, generating billions every year, forever. The NHS could be fixed, schools funded, green jobs created, and infrastructure transformed. No more agonizing choices between public services. A massive fund would mean resilience in crises, no need for austerity or debt. But Britain chose short-term spending over long-term security. The lost fortune is visible in every pothole, every underfunded hospital, every struggling family. The UK won the lottery and has nothing to show but a faded ticket. It wasn't just bad luck, it was a choice. The present was chosen over the future, and the price is still being paid, every day. It's a quiet, trillion-pound disaster, and almost no one talks about it. What's the lesson? Planning for the future matters. Norway's story is about vision, responsibility, and resisting the quick fix. Their oil fund is a chain linking past, present, and future. The UK's story is a warning. Short-term gain can mean long-term loss. Privatization of shared resources can transfer wealth away from the public. The UK didn't just spend its oil money, it squandered its future. This lesson applies to everything: climate, pensions, education. The temptation is always to focus on now, but the cost can be devastating. One country built lasting prosperity, the other patched up cracks. The trillion-dollar question: will we learn from this? For our future's sake, we can't afford to forget.